If you're just joining us, my name is Sien, and today we are still on our political round table discussion. And I remain Sien, like I said, this is the Daily News. We are discussing a very important topic today, and it concerns you, it concerns me, it concerns our destiny, it concerns our nation come to 23. It concerns the after effects, the aftermath of what happens after the election. You cast your vote, and the umpire, which is INEC, announces the result. What happens after then? How do we survive? How do we live as Nigerians? It happens from now till then. And to discuss this with me is no other person but the state coordinator of Vote No Be Fight. I'm talking of no other one but Lawrence Peter.
Good morning all.
Welcome to the program today.
Thank you, sir.
So today we'll be looking at a very important topic, like I said. It has to do with electoral violence. It has to do with our election. It has to do with how you comport yourselves during election. How do we cast our vote? How do we campaign for our candidates? How do we campaign for our various parties and all the various groups we are affiliated to? That is what we're looking at today. And like I said, we have the state coordinator of Vote No Be Fight, Election No Be War. So, Mr. Lawrence, let's hear from you. How do you see 2023?
2023 is going to be a very great year where the fate of some of the political giants will be determined. And it depends on you and me to really go out there to do what is right, to obey and follow the civic rules and responsibilities that is laid down. I believe something great is going to come out of 2023 elections.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vote No Be Fight. So what is it about?
Okay. Vote Not Fight, Election No Be War. It's a campaign that started sometime around September, and it's been on since 2014. And the major objectives of Vote Not Fight, Election No Be War, number one is to get or secure the commitment and the compliance of youth leaders and political candidates. Now, different political candidates, we want to secure their commitment because we know the best way through which you can ensure that there is violence-free and that people go out is for these persons to talk to their representatives and supporters. And some other thing, one of the objectives is to increase the voters' turnout. And to do this, we have set out some machineries, one of which is going out for sensitization and voters' education. So we believe that you can help us too, because we believe in peer-to-peer awareness.
That's true.
So if you go all out there to do what is right, then the burden will be reduced. And number three is that we want to reduce the incidence of violence. This is very, very key and pertinent, because in a situation whereby somebody doesn't conduct him or herself very, very in a dutiful and peaceful way in the polling at the polling unit, there is bound to be problem.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we seize these opportunities and every opportunities we have to go all out there, do community organizing and advocacies, reach out to the people. And we are working with some of those resourceful persons. We know that there is no better ways to pass your message across to the grassroots than to go through the National Orientation Agency. And that's the reason why we've been able to reach out to the key figures in National Orientation Agency, and they've been able to work willingly accept that we work with their comos across the 18 local governments. And that is very, 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 very important to us, because we believe we cannot do everything by ourselves. And we want this chain to go on. And that's the reason why we're on air today, believing that you and every other persons around you should be told to vote and not fight, because election is not war.
Okay. So just like you heard from him, vote and not fight. Election is not war. Come to 23, the destiny of Cross River State, the destiny of Nigeria lies in your hands. It depends on how you conduct yourself during the election. It depends on how you go about your campaign, campaigning for your candidate, campaigning for your party. So, Mr. Lawrence, what are the effects, or what are these, let's start from this other way, what are the signals to show that there's bound to be violence in an election? What do we look out for when campaigning, when canvassing for votes and all that, to know that, okay, that the way this is going, if something is not done, then it may lead to a major crisis in this election?
One of the key things we should look out for is ignorance. It is ignorance that will make you to be a cannon fodder at the hands of those people that want to use you. For the youth, I am putting this out to you. Come 2023, do not allow yourself to be used by some of these political figures. Because if you allow yourself to be used, at the end of the day, you will regret it. Why is it that they are not using their children for all this violence and thuggery? Political thuggery shouldn't be something that we should be involved with. If we want our representative, then we should do what it takes to get our representative. So, looking at the way things are going, there is hunger in the land, number one. And because of this hunger, it has a way of affecting the psychology of people on the way they see things. So, every person is virtually hungry at one point or the other now. So any slight mistake to trigger the hunger-influenced anger in every person that you see will result in violence. Imagine somebody coming to your polling unit to still canvass on the day whereby the fate of the nation will be determined. That is not right in any way. Imagine somebody doing things that goes against the Electoral Act. These are punishable offense. And we believe if people are orientated, reorientation is very, very key. So giving people the right orientation will make them to steer clear. And one other key thing, and that's the reason why we want to see how we can work or partner rather with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Calabar, because we know that if you are in your if you have sound mind, if you are sane, you will not want to do anything that will jeopardize your future. But a situation whereby somebody is abusing drug, or the drug is abusing the person. If somebody engage in drug abuse, there is bound to be a problem, because the person is not in his right frame of mind. So these are some of the things that we want to see how we can curtail. We know we can't stop it, but we want to reduce it to the barest minimum. If there is problem at any of the polling units, regardless of the fact that beavers and every other technologies that they are bringing into is there is bound not to be any result from that particular unit. And if there is war, as the case may be, then there is not going to be any election. We are in participatory democracy, so we should make sure that everything go the way it should be.
Okay, now looking at, you said that ignorance of the Electoral Act, drug abuse, and some other canvassing for votes during at the polling units when voting is going on, and some other violating of electoral laws may likely lead to crisis during elections. Let's look at social media. Can social media actually influence crisis or bring violence, electoral violence?
Very well. The social media is another point. We know how they almost tear down this, one of our key figures that used to be an actress. Hate speech is one of those things that actually goes against what we are fighting for. And where you get hate speech the more is on the social media. Every small thing. If you want to show your support, you want to throw your weight at somebody, nobody stops you. But don't try to carry another person along when you know what you are doing. It's not right. Every little thing that goes viral out there that is not good takes time to curb it. So we will have to be doing another work to make sure that we correct the anomalies of some people. It's not right. So social media is also another entry point to instigate or to cause violence during election.
Okay. Now, social media is another entry point. Ignorance, canvassing for votes during election and the rest. So these political parties themselves, how closely have you been able to work with them to ensure that they talk to their canvassers, they talk to their supporters, talk to the campaign organization and all that to ensure they abide by the Electoral Act to reduce the level of violence or crisis during elections?
Myself and my team, we've been doing quite a lot in the state, and we've paid courtesy visits to some of those key figures, and we will continue with those advocacies because we believe we can rally around them to pass the message.
That's true.
If there is war and you are able to catch the commandant, then the rest becomes your prisoners. So sorry that I'm using this particular analogy, but I believe that going through the one that they are throwing their weight at, that they want to support, will really give us the chance to pass our message from the earth, the top, as somebody will say, to the bottom.
Okay.
So we believe that this thing is going to help, and we believe to do more, and that's the reason why I'm even here, so that we can use the media too
To sensitize.
to sensitize the people, to make people aware of what is going on.
Okay, so before I let you go, what is that your last message to Cross River State youth, to electorate and even the candidates? What do you want them to know? What is that thing you want to tell them as it concerns election 2023?
Man, beloved Cross Riverians, if you refuse to participate, particularly you the youths, and some of those persons that are grossly marginalized, you are doing something very wrong that posterity will hold you for. And I'm passing this message to all our political leaders too, that try as much as you can to talk to your supporters, because they believe so much in you that they want to stake or give their lives for you. And I don't feel the life of anybody is worth giving for any, quote me, any politician. You have your life, even though it is Gary that you seek, you still have your life. So, and that shows persons that are grossly marginalized, you are doing something very wrong that posterity will hold you for. And I'm passing this message to all our political leaders too, that try as much as you can to talk to your supporters, because they believe so much in you that they want to stake or give their lives for you. And I don't feel the life of anybody is worth giving for any, quote me, any politician. You have your life, even though it is Gary that you seek, you still have your life. So, and that should be enough. Go all out and vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, viewers out there. As you've heard from Lawrence Peter, the state coordinator of Vote Not Fight, Election No Be War. It is high time we protect ourselves. It's high time we protect our country and our state, because when you carry out this act of violence, at the end of the day, who suffers the brunt? Who bears the brunt? It's still you and me. The politicians have the like he said, let me put it in his own way. No ambition, no politician is worth your life. You don't just have to stick out your life for any politician. Thank you very much. Stay out of violence and ensure you go out to vote when the time comes. See you next time. I remain Ukorebi SCM. Thank you. Bye for now.